Hello everybody, welcome. So in this individual reading, this is going to be for a Virgo. This is going to be for February 26th to March 6th of 2026. So, this is how it goes in that way, because this is how it goes. So, I know what you're going through, Virgo. I know you might be having a good day or a bad day right now, but you know what? You need to face your own abilities to understand that, right? This is going to be how it goes. So, this is how it's need to be in that way. This is how it goes in that way, because this is how it goes in that way, right? So that's how it goes. So we're gonna figure out what's going on between your past, your internal future, and everything else. This is how it goes in that way. So we're gonna figure out what's happening in that perspective, and that's how it goes in that way. So you have to see it in a more fulfilling, but that's how it goes in that way. Okay, so you will see the cards eventually, but this is how it goes. So I'm gonna clarify this. So the Knight of Pentacles reversed, it means that you're not telling the truth, or you're not having trust with anybody. I have no idea what that. So that would be in your past situation. In the middle of this situation, you have the Eight Cups upright. You have entertainment. I have no idea what you're going to be entertained for. In your own present situation, and in the future, you have the Four of Wands reversed. There's no celebration. Okay, so it's reversed. So let's see what's going on with this Nine of Pentacles. You will see it eventually. So you have the Ten of Pentacles is upright, but with the King of Cups reversed, you have the Ten of Swords reversed, and you have the Ace of Wands upright. So basically, what I'm telling you is that Ace of Wands upright, there's new beginnings, right? That's how it goes. The Ten of Pentacles upright, there's offering about money in that way. King of Cups reversed, there's no support, and Ten of Swords reversed, there's no conclusions in your past daily routine. So the way this is, you need to understand whether you have to have your own ways of knowing what to do, right? This is how it goes. So you have to believe it in order to achieve it in that way. Let's say, but the Eight Cups in the present situation, Page of Pentacles already, there's prospects. For one years, there's no celebration, and Page of Swords already, there's education. Yeah, because you're going to get educated on it, because you need to do it. So in that way, so we might be doing it in our Gemini Aquarius. You might do it in our Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You might do it in our Leo, Aries, Sagittarius in that way, because that's how it goes in that way, right? That's how it goes. Then in the future, the Four of Wands, I'm going to clarify that, please. The Empress here says no nourishment. Eight Cups here says no entertainment. Five Pentacles here says no insecurity. Queen Swords over there's you're showing your independence, right? You want things to happen in that way, so you can see it as wonderful feeling. But the way this is, Virgo, you need to understand of how it goes in that way. So let's see that you can understand about this whole entire reading. Okay, so it does make sense in that way, because this is the way it works in that way between the past, the present, and the future situation. Because this is how it goes. So you know what, Virgo, you need to pay attention what you're doing in that way, because this is how it goes. You think, oh, everything's going to be fine. All right, I know what to do. Yes, but when you have it and you achieve something, you have to have your own take it action. You have that own strengths to build have your own strengths, your own abilities. That's how it goes. But what this is, if you think that everything's going to be fine, go with it. Go with the flow. That's how it goes. And when you do it, you have to believe it. You have to understand it. You have to maintain. And when you're maintaining, that's how it goes in that way, right? This is how it goes. So you see it as more fulfilling. You know what it is, but when you get to the chance, you have to take it, right? You take it as wonderful feeling, but then that's how it goes, right? So let me clarify this Ace of Wands here in your in the past situation. The devil is already, there's oppositions, addictions. I have no idea why you're acting like this, Virgo, but you need to pay attention. Okay? What's this? The past, the present of this page of swords here. The Hermit reverse. So you already have a soulmate. Okay, that's how it goes. What's this Queen of Swords in the future? Tower reverse. There's no transformation. So I know how that is in that way, because you can see it as one fulfilling. Okay, so what's this Devil card in the past? Just sorry, you're telling the truth. Star reverse is no inspiration. Full reverse is no change. The Empress, sorry, there's nourishment. Yeah, because you want to be nourished. You want to, tell things in that perspective. You want to be who you are. But the way this is, if you take it as a feeling, you have to do it. You have to go with the flow. You have to pay attention because that's how it goes. If you think that you need to have your own abilities, you have to know that from the right and wrong perspective, that's all you can do. But you take it. You take it as a feeling. You know how it is in that way, okay? What's this Hermit card for the present? That already you want to make decisions. There yours is no progress. Judgment is already you're taking action. You have to do it. If you're taking action, you need to do it in that way, right? That's how it goes. So when you're making decisions, you have to make some decisions. You have no progress. By the way, this is Virgo. You pay attention on how you're feeling in that way. What's this Tower moment in the future? Tower yours is no transformation. Strength card is already you want bravery. Wheel fortune yours, you're having bad luck. Death card yours is no endings. Devil yours is no there's no obsessions, addictions. Emperor yours is no structure. Moon yours is no misrotations. Sun card yours is negativity. Obviously there is, because the way this is, if you think to yourself, it's like, well, I don't want to take this anymore. I don't want to do it. Then what's the issue? What's the issue between when you have negativity, right? What's the issue? Because you have to understand, Virgo, that you need to pay attention. Okay, you have to pay attention in order to do it, right? That's how it goes. So when you see it, you think, okay, well, everything's to be happening all at once. Okay, that's how it goes. So you see it as a wonderful feeling. Okay, so in the past with this Empress card, let me clarify. Just when you're not taking action, moving yours is on expectations. Terms of you're healing. You have to heal. Okay, you're healing because you need to heal, and when you do it, that's how it goes, right? So you have to understand whether you are healing because you need it. You need to understand whether you have to take a chance, whether you like it or not. But what this is, you have to go with the flow, right? You pay attention on how you're feeling in that way. Whether, okay, well, this is gonna be happening. Oh, I know what to do. Yes, but you have to go with the flow. Go with the flow because it's the way how it works in that way, right? You have your own dignity. You have your respect. You have your abilities. That's how it goes. Because the way how it works, right? So you have to go from the left, middle, and right of that situation or whatever it is. But you take it as a wonderful feeling. You have to take it as a vantage point, right? The vantage point is that whether you have to act nice to a lot of people, you have to do that. If you turn things around and you're being mean, you're being nasty, you're being who you are, don't do that. Because a lot of people will actually, basically they will run away from you, right? So if you take it as one feeling, you have to engage. You have to apologize. You have to admit that you did something wrong, right? That's how it goes. So in the past, you have the temperance as a healing. You need to heal on what you did, and whenever you're in public with that, and you are basically trying to have a nice day, try to do that, right? You understand that, right? So if you want Scorpio, or whether if you want another, whatever you are, you have to pay attention, right? So if you want Scorpio, maybe you have to turn things into a different perspective. If you want attention, if you want whatever you want, go with the flow. Maybe you can change your direction, right? That's how it goes. So you can't say, oh, I don't like you, Scorpio, or you did something wrong, or you pissed me off, whatever it is. You know what, Virgo, you need to pay attention on how you're feeling. Because this temperance card right here, you have to be healing at the moment, okay? Now what's this judgment in the present situation? Whereas there's completion, here yours is no restrictions, tower yours is no transformation, string card yours is no bravery, no, because you're being scared. Fool yours is no change, death card is alright, there's endings here, but you're focusing on another Scorpio. You want Scorpio? Fine. But you know what, Virgo, if you act like this, whether you say, oh, I want Scorpio, I want attention, well then try to not look at Scorpio in a public place. Whether if it's a cafe shop, whether if it's somewhere. But you know what, Virgo, you need to pay attention whether if you want Scorpio and you want attention with him, and a Virgo woman wants that, then what's the issue? What's the issue that you're being mean or disrespectful or whatever it is? You have to turn things around for a change. Right? If you want things to happen your way, Virgo, you pay attention. Because you know why? You have to act like it. Like, you're not being stupid, you're not being mean, you're not being disrespectful. But if you keep this up, and let's say, oh, it's not my fault. A Virgo woman's perspective needs to pay attention on how a Scorpio feels. If you want Scorpio as the masculine man and you want attention, that's what you want. That's what you get. But you have to proceed to be nice. Right? That's how it goes. If you think that, oh, I'm not nice, you're being mean, you're being rude, you're being disrespectful. Like I say, remember when I was talking about the past situation? You're healing. So a lot of people are backing away from you. Right? In the present situation, you want Scorpio. That's what the card is for the death card. That represents Scorpio. You want him. But why do you keep doing it? You're making decisions. Right? You want things to happen your way, your direction. But don't be mean to Scorpio. Don't. You want Scorpio to come close to you. But if you're saying to him, back off, leave me alone, Virgo, you need to pay attention on how you're feeling. Because enough is enough. Okay? Now, in the future, you have the Sun card reversed, you have negativity. Let me clarify that, please. Empress already, you want structure. Hyperis reverse is no inner voice. Star reverse is no inspiration. Wheel of Fortune reverse. So you're having bad luck. Justice reverse, you're not telling the truth. You're lying about something. Whenever you lie, it's basically not good. Right? So you're just like saying, well, it's not my fault. Well, let me clarify. Let me clarify this justice reverse. Hey man, is that right? Yeah, because you want to have restrictions. You're being restricted. Right? You want things to happen your way, Virgo. You need to pay attention to it. But what? You can't be mean. You can't be rude. You can't be disrespectful. If you want Scorpio, you have to pay attention to him. Because it doesn't work the other way around. If you're attractive to a man, you pay attention to him. If it's all about you, Virgo, as a woman, you have to pay attention on how you're feeling. So you're trying to say, oh, well, okay, I'll change my mind. A Virgo woman will change her mind if she wants Scorpio. But like I say, if you change your direction into this whole entire way, and you're going from left, right, and center, you're trying to look at Scorpio. You're trying to look at him every day, right? It's like you're trying to look at him, and you're telling him to back off, leave him alone. Or should I say vice versa, the other way around. You're telling him to leave you alone, then don't be mean. Don't be rude. Because a Scorpio man can actually look at a Virgo woman, and even the Scorpio man is like saying, no, you can't do it. So you know what? You need to pay attention. Because this Hangman is upright. You have restrictions. You're being restricted. Because you can't do this, you can't do that. No. If you want to change your direction, pay attention to him. Pay attention to a Scorpio man. Whether if he has a disability or not. But if you be mean and you have your disrespect, like I say, people will start to move away from you, from your negativity. It's like I say, life goes on, right? That's how it goes, right? So let me see what's going on with this temperance in your past. Five of Swords reverse, there's no conflict. Nine of Swords reverse, there's no trauma. Three of Cups reverse, there's no celebration. Two of Wands reverse, there's there's no planning. Night Cups yours, there's no romance. Obviously, yeah. For once yours, there's no celebration. For yours, there's no change. The Hierophant said, right, you want guidance. That's what you want. Right, Virgo, you need to pay attention. So whether you need to act like, oh, okay, I don't have romance right now. You want attention, right? If you keep this up in this daily routine on what you're doing, Virgo, as the woman you are, you have to pay attention. Because it's not always about you. It's about who you are in that direction. Okay? Now, what's this Death card that was in Scorpio? Let me clarify that. Then for yours, there's no structure. Star yours, there's no inspiration. Moon is alright, there's misfitations. Obviously there is. Clarify that, please. Ten stars yours, there's no conclusions. Hermit yours, you already have a soulmate. Yep. Five of Cups, already there's grief. Yeah, because that's how it goes. Right? So Virgo as the woman, you need to pay attention whether if Scorpio Man has grief, he's grieving. Because what you did to him was wrong. You did something. And then you're saying, oh, it's not my fault. No. That's when the lies come in. That's when you're being, Pinocchio, right? Pinocchio has the nose and it keeps growing. Because he's mixing up lies, right? Well, you know what, Virgo, as the woman, you need to pay attention on how Scorpio's feeling. You need to apologize. You need to do whatever you want to do. Maybe you need to think about, okay, well, maybe Scorpio Man is the priority. Virgo woman is saying, okay, well, I'll do exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. That's how it goes. But if you keep this up, no matter how your strengths, your weaknesses, your abilities, the Virgo woman needs to pay attention. That's how it goes. So what's this Hangman in this in the future? King of Cups yours, there's no support. Six of Swords yours, there's no movement. Knight of Swords, there's drama here. Yeah, there's drama in the future. Because you want things to happen. You want things to be, how it is. Right? You have to pay attention. Because I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not making it because this is how it goes. It's actually for real. A Virgo woman needs to pay attention on how she's feeling because on what happens, this is how it goes, right? So let me clarify this Hierophant in your past. Sen Pentacles, sorry, you want a career, yeah? Just sorry, you want to tell the truth. Obviously there is. Queen of Cups, there's no empathy. Nine Pentacles, sorry, yeah, you want to focus on trust. You want things to happen that way, but you focus on that. Maybe you're going to say, oh, hi, Scorpio. That's what you're going to say. Right? If you like Scorpio so much, Virgo, you pay attention to him. But you have to have the trust. You have to tell the truth. But you can't push Scorpio Man away from you. If you want the Scorpio Man to come to you, let him to come to you. But if you're too scared enough, okay, Virgo? If you're too scared enough, just think about how you're feeling. Just like I say, life goes on, right? Bit by bit, day by day, week by week, month to month, and year by year. Right? You decide what you want, but you need to pay attention. Okay, Virgo? A Virgo woman who wants Scorpio, fine. But you have to pay attention. Right? You want to be attractive, you want to wear, skirts or outfits or whatever you're attracting to a Scorpio Man, let that happen. But if you turn things around, you have to pay attention. Because you can't be stupid. No, you can't. A Virgo woman cannot be stupid. You have to act like you have to be nice and you have to be who you are. That's how it goes. Because like I say, I'm talking about the past here. I'm talking about your past. You want the way of trust. You want to tell the truth. You want to do that. Okay. But hear me out. You have to pay attention on how you're feeling. Okay? That's how it goes. Now, this 5 of Cups for the Scorpio Man, if you're focusing on this present situation. Says Cups already, yeah, there's the past, right? Nine of Swords, right? There's actually trauma here. High Priestess, alright, is like inner voice. 6 of Swords, alright, there's movement. 2 of Cups, alright, there's relationships, right? You want to have a relationship with a Scorpio Man. You want things to happen in that perspective. You want things to be in that way. So Virgo woman needs to pay attention on the Scorpio Man. She needs to understand on if a Scorpio Man wants attention or wants relationships or anything else. If you're telling a Scorpio Man to back off and leave you alone, and you keep staring at him more and more and more, you know, you want attention from him. But if the Scorpio Man is actually staring at you with his eyeballs, okay, he's looking at you. But if you're telling him to back off, leave him alone, can't talk to you anymore, that's basically, you're basically saying that you're being mean, you're being nasty, you're being dishonesty. You know, you have to act like it. You have to change things into your perspective. It's like I say, sweetheart, you have to believe in order to do that. A Virgo woman needs to pay attention to the Scorpio Man. It's like I say, if you keep staring at him more and more and more, he'll think you have a crush on him. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But you have to know about this trust here in your past. The present is relationships right now. If you want a relationship, you want to pay attention to him. Right? But if you keep this up, no matter how you're feeling, a Virgo woman, you need to pay attention to a Scorpio Man. You think to yourself and say, well, you know, I'll do what I can. Yes, you can. You can't fool a Scorpio Man. You can't. Because the Scorpio Man is watching you, Virgo woman. He's watching you. Your moves, your body language. He's watching you. Day by day, week by week, month to month, year by year. If you want Scorpio Man, you change your direction, Virgo. A Virgo woman has to change her direction. Pay attention. What's this Knight of Swords in your future, Virgo woman? 5 of Swords, there's no conflict. Fool is upright, there's change. King of Swords, there's no knowledge. The Chariot is upright, there's progress. Yeah, because you're wanting to make progress. Yes. So you know what? A Virgo woman and Scorpio Man can make it if they want to have progress. Because you need to have that progress, right? Let me clarify that Chariot. 2 on Swords, there's no planning. 10 Cups, there's completion. Yeah, you see, you want to be completed. Right? You want to have things to be going as planned because that's how it goes. Right? That's how it goes. Because in that way, you think, okay, well, I know what to do. Yes. Is at the bottom of the deck here, you have basically the 6 of Pentacles here. There's no kindness here. Right? So I'm going to put that there in your past. Now, the 9 of Swords, there's no trauma here, not yet. I'll put that in the present. And 7 of Swords, there's no deceit because you're not feeling deceit in your future. So, let me clarify. This. 6 of Pentacles, this is unkindness. So let's see what a Virgo woman is. Page 1 first, there's no invention. 6 1 first, there's no achievement. Just first, there's no skill. 7 cups, sorry, there's a delusion. Yeah, because you're having deja vu. Having deja vu because where you're deciding that you're focusing on Scorpio Man. Maybe you're focusing on him. You want things to happen in that direction because a Virgo woman needs to have that potential. You might have a crush on Scorpio Man. Maybe you do, but you have to be nice to him in public. He'll see you in the off distance, but if you keep this up, no matter what you're feeling, Virgo woman, pay attention on your emotions, your feelings, because he knows about the past. He knows about your past. Why? Because he might have a crush on you, but you think to yourself, you think that you can change things in a direction, into your direction, not his direction, your direction. Because a Virgo woman wants to flirt with Scorpio. A Scorpio man is saying to a Virgo woman, it's like, well, you know what, if you keep flirting with me, having all the dresses, having all the, and you're smirking at him, and you're wearing your sunglasses in public and everything else, the Scorpio man will see a Virgo woman doing that. So like I say, it's all in the cards, baby. Right? I'm just laughing at this, but it's funny, right? That's what it seems to be. You pay attention, right? What's this 9 of Swords about? 3 of Pentacles, sorry, you want excitement? Yep. Ace of Cups, yours, there's no satisfaction. 9 of Wands, yours, there's no immaturity. 10 of yours, there's no healing. 10 of Cups, sorry, you want completion. Yeah, see? The Scorpio man wants completion. You want completion, right? It makes sense, doesn't it? Yes, it is. What's this 7 of Swords about in your future? 8 wands, sorry, you want speed. 10 of Swords, sorry, there's always conclusions. 3 cups, sorry, there's celebrations. 5 of Cups, sorry, there's no grief. Ace of Swords, sorry, yeah, there's an understanding here. That's how it goes. Right, you want things to happen in your direction with a Scorpio man's direction. You both want understanding. That's what it is, right? You want to have understanding because that's how it goes. Right? That's how it goes. Now, what's this 10 of Cups here for a Virgo woman? Queen of Cups, sorry, there's empathy. Ace of Pentacles, sorry, you want growth. King of Cups, sorry, you want support. That's what you want. A Virgo woman wants support because that's what she wants. She wants to see the empathy of two sides of the story. One makes sense, one doesn't make sense. But you decide. Right? That's how it goes. Because when you keep this up in your own daily function, no matter how it goes, you have to understand that. That's what it seems to be. Let me clarify this completion in the present situation. 6 Cups yours, there's no past, exactly. 9 Pentacles, sorry, you want trust, yeah. Just yours, you're not telling the truth, right? Scorpio knows that you're not telling the truth. Because you're acting like, oh, I'm being mean or being rude or disrespectful. That's what a Virgo woman is doing to Scorpio. A Scorpio man, he understands about your lies. He understands what you're going through. Right? That's how it goes. So let me clarify this justice. 2 Cups yours, there's no relationships or friendships. Yep. 2 Swords yours, you already know which path you're going to take. Tarot yours, there's no transformation. Hierophant is upright. Yeah, because Scorpio man wants the guidance because a Virgo woman wants guidance. That's how it goes. Right? So I can see it in that way. Because if there's no relationships right now between the Virgo woman and the Scorpio man, if she's being mean and disrespectful to a Scorpio man, a Scorpio Man will feel the same way. Because like I say, you can't attack a Scorpio Man and saying, well, you did this. No, because if you act like this, you have to pay attention to the Scorpio Man's perspective. Like I say, he knows about your past. He knows about what's going on. You told him about the past. You tell him that you want things to happen. But when you push the Scorpio Man away, it hurts the Scorpio Man. You're basically attacking the Scorpio Man. Scorpio Man is not attacking you yet. Because he sees your lies. You're disrespectful. You're being rude. You're being unkindness, right? You want things to happen, yes. But you actually want Scorpio, as the man, to think for himself that he wants to let you to apologize to him. Maybe you just did something. Maybe you just say, you know what, I'm being mean, I'm being rude, A Scorpio Man knows about your lies. He knows about your past. He knows that you were attacking the Scorpio Man in public. He knows that you're don't want Scorpio anymore. You're telling him that you don't want him. But he maybe want you. Maybe you just don't see it in his direction. Because like I say, sweetheart, like I say, you have to know about your own reasons. You pay attention on how you're feeling in that way, okay? You have to go with the flow, okay? What's this Ace of Swords about in your future? High Priestess yours, there's no inner voice. Nine Cups yours, there's no fulfillment. Eight Pentacles, there's perfection. Yeah, everything has to be perfect. 3 Wands, there's communication. Yeah, because you're going to communicate. Right? So you can see it. You can see it as how you're feeling. Okay? So now I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify this King Cups for you in the past, Virgo. And says, people don't believe me. Yep, people don't believe in me. Yeah, because that's how it goes. A Virgo woman needs to act like that. What's this, the Scorpio Man for this Hierophant, or in your present, a Virgo woman as well. These feelings are eating me alive. Yeah, that's what the Scorpio Man is saying. He knows what's going on. He knows what you were doing to him. He knows everything what you did. And what's in the future? Don't treat me the way you do. I don't deserve it. Yeah, exactly. Because a Virgo woman and a Scorpio Man has the way it seems to be. You pay attention on how you're feeling, but you have to treat others with respect. Right? That's how it goes. If you want attention, if you want to be loyal, if you act like this, that's how it's going to be. Right? Let me clarify this. People don't believe in me. It says, I need to hold back my true feelings for you. Yeah, exactly. A Virgo woman maybe thinks that she has a crush on a Scorpio Man. Maybe she needs to think about having a lovely talk to the Scorpio Man and saying, okay, this is how it goes. Clarify this. These feelings are eating me alive. I am better with my mind than my heart. Yeah, because he knows. He knows about what's happening with his mind. A Scorpio Man's mind knows what happened. He knows about the past. He knows about a Virgo woman's past. Because he's seeing as what happens. Maybe he wants attention from Virgo woman. Maybe she needs to understand that. Let's see what's going on with this future, as in, don't treat me the way you do, I don't deserve it. Let's see. It says, I am stuck in visions of us together. Yeah, exactly. He understands that, you both are understanding that you want to be together. Because if you want to pay attention to a Scorpio man, let him. But if you pretend that you don't like Scorpio, you're being mean and you're being disrespectful in that way, a Virgo woman needs to act like that. Right? She doesn't need to. And I'll do one more for the past Virgo woman. It says, I can't express myself. Exactly. Maybe you have a disability too, Virgo woman. Maybe. Maybe something oddly happened to you in the past. Maybe you think that you want people to pay attention to you. Maybe you don't like it when people be mean and rude and disrespectful. How you like it, Virgo woman? Comment below if you want. By the way this is, you pay attention. Let me clarify this. I am better with my mind than my heart. It says, I have to let you go to find myself. He wants to let you go. But he still reminds you of what happened. He understands what he's going through. No matter what you're doing, because it's disrespectful. Right? He doesn't want to let you go. Maybe he has feelings for you. Maybe you have to be nice to him. Okay, Virgo woman, you need to be nice to him. Let me clarify this. I'm stuck in visions of us together. In the future, it says, I can't come to you now. Exactly. So both of you can't go together. Right? You're actually being restricted. Right? And when you're being restricted, a Virgo woman is being restricted. Maybe she wants Scorpio. Maybe Scorpio wants a Virgo woman. But they have to work together as a team. There's no I in team, right? There isn't. But you pay attention. And last but not least, let me clarify, I have to let you go to find myself. Last one, it says, will you leave me like the others? That's the question. A Virgo woman, that's the question. Will you leave me? And it says, yeah, will you leave me like the others? That's the question. That's the question. Because right now, you have to think about all of this. Yep. It's like I say, it hurts, doesn't it? Yeah, it is. A Virgo woman needs to pay attention on how she's feeling about Scorpio man. If a Virgo woman wants attention, she needs to behave. She needs to be acting like, okay, I need to do what I can to make it right for a Scorpio man. Yes. But are you going to change your ways? Are you going to act like this? It's like to say, there's all my viewers who are going to maybe asking this question or answer this question. Will you leave me like the others? If that happens to you in public, whether if you are facing another Scorpio, the Scorpio man, or a Virgo woman, or whoever you are dealing with, this is the question. Will you leave me like the others? That's the question. So I hope you all like this message. try to believe it, try to understand it, and understand that, because that's how it goes, right? You see it as a wonderful feeling, but that's how it goes in that way. So this is how it's gonna be. But you know what? That's the way it happens. That's the way it occurs, and that's how it goes. So you see it what you're doing in that way, and you think, okay, well everything's gonna be fine. But you understand that, right? You have to believe it in order to do it in that way, and you think, okay, well everything's gonna be fine. But that's how it goes. Do you see it as a wonderful direction? And when it is, that's how it is, right? So you have to believe in that way, and that's how it goes. So remember, if you choose to be like in Scorpio Man, and you want to have relationships with him or whatever else, you have to understand that. But when you believe that you're being mean or rude or disrespectful, it doesn't go the other way around. It's basically hurting, right? So you have to understand that a Virgo woman needs to pay attention on how she's feeling, because like I say, it's like you have to believe it, you have to understand that, because that's how it goes. Okay, that's what it seems to be. So I hope you all like this video. Try to understand it, try to believe it, try to behave, and that's how it goes in that way. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I'll see you next time when I do. And that's how it goes. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time when I do. Thank you, and bye for now. Really thank you, and have a nice day. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye for now. Really, thank you. And thanks, and bye.